seconds. 27.
26.
25 seconds.
24. 23.
22 seconds.
21 seconds.
20 seconds. 19.
18.
17 seconds.
16.
15 seconds.
14.
13 seconds.
12. 11.
10 seconds.
9.
8.
7.
6.
6 what?
Copy.
5 seconds.
3. 2. 1.
Hi folks, and welcome back to the Scotch Tracker. It's the start of a new year and the start of a new season of the show. Thanks very much for joining me today, Scott. So first question, Happy New Year to you too. What Star Trek films and or TV shows have you enjoyed recently?
Okay, recently I got through season 2 of Lower Decks. Obviously that was a little while ago, but yeah. I just finished up the first half of Discovery.
Cool.
My circumstances, like I said, my circumstances changed so that I was able to be on the live stream tonight, but unfortunately that meant I was not able to catch up on the first episode of this half of Prodigy. That is something I'll most likely rectify tonight. But a little
I
late.
definitely recommend it.
Oh, great. As for the movies, well, you recently did that live stream with Nicholas Meyer, so I was brushing up on that by watching Undiscovered Country.
Cool.
I think that's about it, actually. I haven't watched a lot of the other Star Trek movies recently. Yeah, it's been a while. About time for a binge, actually, I think. Just to get through.
Yeah, I've been watching season 4 of Discovery, and the first episode of Prodigy's first season return, as it were. I thought, yeah, it's great when it comes back. And yeah, I've been enjoying actually season 4 of Discovery with all the DMA stuff and all that.
Very
I think
true.
It's cool that it's in a different arc.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've heard more than a few people talking about how they kind of wish Disco was more episodic like the older shows and didn't have an overarching plot. But I mean, I find this one really compelling because when you're talking about you've got a species from somewhere outside the galaxy that created this huge gravimetric distortion, and maybe they're not doing it to be malicious, but I can't imagine if it's not malicious, then what is it for? Because they've shown that they can change its direction and stuff, so clearly they can aim it at something if they want to, but what do they want to aim it at? It's raising a lot of questions. Very interesting ones.
Yeah. I kept thinking of myself, maybe it's been accidentally deployed or whatever, but yeah, there's a few things that I thought it might be launched by the AI from Discovery season 2 and Picard season 1, or maybe Empress Giorgio, or you just don't know.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought about Control. I'd heard the one thing I'd heard is that there's a possibility that was, I'm never going to remember the species name, but it was from the original series, and it was a race that was actually from outside our galaxy.
The Kelvins.
That's one. I love how I can always remember these things after the fact, but yeah. So they thought it might have been 32nd century version of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
I get all my
so much
from
stuff.
People who know Trek a lot better than me.
Apparently, the Doomsday Machine originated from outside the galaxy as well.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Yeah. I think at some point somebody actually theorized that it could have been, or that it could be V'ger from the motion picture.
Oh, nice.
V'ger is just still kicking around.
Yeah, I think people they're speculating that after the second episode, I think it is, where you see the first view of it and then the episode, and it looks somewhat like what part of V'ger looks like, basically.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Have you enjoyed watching anything like non-Star Trek recently?
Um, Mostly, lately has been comic book stuff. I've still been trying to keep up on the MCU. I can't really, like, I could see the stuff in the theaters if I want. COVID isn't the issue so much as finances. So it's only recently that I got as far in the MCU as Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, which is a great movie, and I really did enjoy that one.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. And over, like on the DC side, like I know a lot of people go on about the Arrowverse and all. The only show, like in the Arrowverse that I have followed regularly since it started was Legends of Tomorrow. Like how earlier, we were talking about the whole time travel thing. I love that show. I'm not entirely caught up on their most recent season, but it's been pretty interesting. Like they do keep it compelling because it is kind of a revolving door of characters that go in and out of the show. So I think that helps to keep it fresh. And then they've done some things lately, going through time travel to include aliens, and they kind of make it work. They had a character who had an alien lay eggs in his brain. John Constantine's there, and now he doesn't have magic, but he has a drug problem that gives him magic. So that's going to be interesting to explore.
Cool.
What else am I watching?
I've been enjoying watching the Book of Boba Fett recently.
That's another thing.
started.
I keep meaning to, like, every time I see like if it's trending or if somebody mentions there's a new episode out, I'm like, why did I not go watch that? Like, why am I not watching that? I followed The Mandalorian religiously enough. You'd think I'd be watching that.
Oh, right. And also really liked watching the film Being the Ricardos, which is all about like Lucy Ball or Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
Is her full name? It's like, yeah, kept like thinking it's basically like the backstory of the making of Star Trek without actually mentioning Star Trek at all in it. It's pretty cool and well acted.
Well,
and
yeah, that
everything.
makes sense because didn't she actually work to keep Star Trek on the air back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say.
Well, yeah, she set up like Desley that produced Star Trek with her husband
Right.
Desi. So, it's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
Have you read any good like Star Trek books, comics, or magazines lately?
I have exactly one run of Star Trek comics, and it's actually old.
Oh,
It's from
cool.
2012, and it was when Next Generation crossed over with Matt Smith's Doctor and Doctor Who.
Cool.
You do get this interesting story where, basically, thanks to the Doctor's involvement, the Cybermen are introduced to the Star Trek universe, and they manage to outstrip the Borg and assimilate everybody before the Doctor actually, if I remember correctly, the Borg attempted to assimilate the Doctor, but he's so advanced that they can't. And you can tell that it takes place before First Contact, because like one of the last panels is the Borg coming to the conclusion that they need to develop time travel. And then at the beginning of that movie, they're headed back to Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
As far as other ones, like I was saying, like my mother-in-law has a bunch of novels that I have read, but I don't own. And there's a few behind me. I think like the biggest one is Imzadi 2. Yeah.
I read that comic like years ago, so I vaguely recall it with Matt Smith, the 11th
Yeah.
Doctor. But recently, I've really enjoyed reading. There's a new book called The Book of Grudge that's being released by Hero Collector, and I thought, yeah, it's just like so quirky and so fun. It's
Okay.
really cool. I'd recommend it. And
Sounds good to
yeah,
me.
like the magazine that used to be called Star Trek Magazine is now being like renamed Star Trek Explorer. And I think it's really cool as well. Like
Okay.
I read like the first issue that had like fan fiction, sort of by like Lisa Klink, even though like she worked on like Voyager and stuff like that, like
Right.
new fiction by her. So I
Okay.
thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, It's just got
Yeah.
as the magazine usually does, even before it was like renamed and all that. It's got tons of stories about all sorts of things to do with Star Trek.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which Star Trek series are you most excited to see as this year continues?
Um, I don't think it's just because we're getting to almost like this unprecedented point where we're going to have possibly 4 series on TV at a time. But, well, I know, like, based on whatever the production schedule is, but like I said, I'm definitely going to get right back into Prodigy tonight, possibly rewatch the first half of the season if I have to. I'm absolutely on pins and needles, as it were, for season 2 of Picard. Now that Discovery the first half has ended the way it has, it's almost like I kind of need to see how that's going to play out, to see if like Book and Tarka are going to get away with destroying the DMA.
Mm-hmm.
That last episode I really liked because, Burnham's right there at the end, upholding Starfleet's original ideas of exploration over, well, military action. And I was like, yes, this is what Star Trek's been about since the beginning. Yes. And then, of course, I'm looking forward to... Yeah?
Sorry, I was going to say, like, also there's been, like, some fans, like, complaining, like, it's such a talky episode, everyone's just, like, standing around. But, yeah, I was, like, in the same sort of boat as you, like, really enjoying it.
Right. Yeah, they do like their talking on Discovery. I've heard that from more than one person. Can't wait to see what's going on with Strange New Worlds and how long, like, that's going to last between... since it's like technically between Discovery and TOS, like what's going to happen, or like if it goes on too long. And then I can only assume it's going to be like the middle or the end of summer by the time we get season 3 of Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was saying when we talked earlier, I was really looking forward to that.
I guess I might as well say on here, like, what I was saying to you earlier, before we went live, that, like, I think he's the executive producer, on Picard, was saying, like, he has no idea whether Star Trek Picard Season 2 will come out in February. So I contacted Amazon, and they said, like, the exact same thing.
Right.
I thought that was just, like, no one knows if it will still be coming in February. Just the Discovery Season 4 will return in February, it seems like. It's pretty funny. Thanks everyone for watching the show.
Absolutely.
Any final comments or where people can find you on social media or anything like that, Scott?
Absolutely. I forget. Can I write something out here? Because I can put up my Twitter handle, but it's got a lot of zeros and numbers in it.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's probably going to look ridiculous that I'm doing this, but I can be reached on Twitter at... I should have written this out already. Huvian for life. Spelled like that in the chat.
That's private
also,
chat, though. You posted it in.
What's that? Oh, gosh.
That's private chat.
Yep, I see that. Oh, bloody heck. Hold on. Can I copy this? Copy, comments. It's over in comments, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So can I put it there or what?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying, but it's not giving me a text box for it.
All right. Well, I'll post it at the end. No problem.
All right, thanks.
But
yeah,
thanks for joining this discussion, Scott, and thanks
no problem.
to our viewers. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the Scotch Tracker. Track you later.
Long and prosperous.